All right, now on to the propositions on the ballots, generating a whole lot of talk tonight.
Nick Van Zant joins us live in the studio to give us results from these key races.
Well, the results for some of these propositions are very, very close. The closest deals with Reed Park Zoo. Proposition 202 authorizes a 1/10 cent sales tax increase for zoo improvements. That has passed. However, Prop 203, which would actually allow the city to impose that tax, that vote is very, very close and may trigger a recount. But as of right now, voters have said no.
If Proposition 202 passes, but 203 doesn't, then that'll be something for mayor and council to look at.
Moving on to Prop 204, that would have imposed a 1/2 cent sales tax funding early childhood education for Tucson residents. 33% of voters said yes, 66% of voters said no.
What's next is we would call on the people who said they were supporters of early childhood education but opposed Strong Start Tucson and seem to think they have a better way in mind. We'd call on them to take some leadership in that.
Proposition 406 would have allowed a raise for city council. 71% of voters, overwhelmingly in this case, said no to that raise. 458 would have allowed TUSD to sell $180 million worth of bonds to pay for school improvements. That was turned down by a margin of 58% to 41%. Another no as we move into Oro Valley. Prop 454 wanted $17 million in bonds to fund improvements at Naranja Park. Again, voters said no by a wide margin, 71 to 28%. Flowing Wells voters, though, they did say yes, with 61% of voters giving the go-ahead to nearly $24 million worth of school improvements. For News 4 Tucson, I'm Nick Van Zant.